Hey, it is your body, peace, and harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on a very important topic and one that I receive a lot of inquiries about, and that is really how to get revenge on a narcissist, how to get revenge on a malignant narcissist, a psychopath. And I think what it's really, what viewers are really inquiring about is like, how do I really come to terms with it? How do I really get it closure? How do I really put them in their place? Well, what are the weaknesses? What are their weaknesses? What really drives them crazy? How can I really insult them? How can I really get back? Well, realize that one of the main ways to insult a malignant narcissist or a psychopath is to expose them and basically make the determination that they are a pathological or unhealthy individual. In other words, when you're seeing things clearly, when you're seeing them for who they are, you're calling out their lies, you're no longer falling for the mental pathologies. You're no longer falling for the gaslighting, which is basically when they distort reality. And this is a very very rigid rule, or a very textbook way of emotionally manipulating their targets, who they do focus in on and really single out, is that they will really gaslight, meaning distort reality and making you feel as if you're crazy. You didn't see that, you didn't see that text. You didn't hear me talking to this person. You didn't see that picture. You didn't feel that way. You shouldn't feel that way. It's the distorting of reality. And, oftentimes people are so under the influence or so under the emotional manipulation that they will just fall and slide right back into the gaslighting. They'll continue to, accelerate that within their body. They'll drive literally themselves crazy, where they'll do things that are out of the ordinary, out of character for them, in order to keep the relationship in the status quo, in order to keep it intact, in order to satisfy their now insatiable need to stay connected to this pathological individual and keep that sort of fear and trauma bond and pleasure going. It's a very, very addictive cocktail of these stress hormones as well as the pleasure hormones, which get set up or created in the target. So it's this insatiable need to satisfy them, continue the stress hormones, the adrenals, and really kind of override their own boundaries and get into that adrenal fatigue where you're basically addicted, and then nothing can satisfy your craving, your need but this person. It's to make sure that the relationship is still intact, to solidify the distorted reality, to make, you're crazy the new normal. And so when you are experiencing this, basically to really kind of get down and break free and really, is the exposing of this individual. It's basically coming to the determination, the reality, the really crystal clear, seeing, really crystal clear, as if you were to look into a beautiful crystal candlestick, something that's very clear. In other words, you're seeing very clearly. You're not seeing through distorted lies. You're no longer buying the disillusion. You're no longer buying the distorted reality. You're no longer sweeping it under the rug, saying, okay, I didn't feel this. I didn't think this. I didn't think, why is the bed not ruffled when you said you slept here tonight, and you see that, the corner of the bed was just folded over, and it wasn't, it was just planted. So the psychopath, as well as the malignant narcissist, will plant things in the environment to make it look as if. So as if they were there, as if they had dinner there, as if, they were planning for this and this. So they very much are acting a show, a sham, and you have to really become aware of this. And even though it's so very painful for a lot of people to understand this, you would think a lot of people would be relieved to finally see it for what it is. So that is the actual best and proper response, is to be relieved that you have identified this person as a pathological individual, a psychopath, a narcissist, a borderline, whatever it is, a cluster B. If you can make that determination in your mind and basically expose them as such, have that communication, or at least that understanding that I'm walking away from the relationship because you are unhealthy, you're living a lie, and, this is leading nowhere, and just call that out. And oftentimes some people, they have to call the police. It gets right down to it. They could be violating them at the home or the workplace, and really then getting, people backing them up. Then you have really made the ultimate insult to a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. You've etched away at the lies. You've maybe been putting this off for weeks, months, or years, when finally you're just gonna blow the submarine out of the water. You're going to bring it on land. You're gonna beach the torpedo. You're going to show it for what it is. You're going to expose them and just say, this is not healthy. This is leading nowhere. I don't want to live a lie. I don't want to be with someone who's living a double or triple life, where, you're pulling the shade over me or the wool over my eyes. I'm not living that way any longer. And expose them for who they are. In other words, that oftentimes is very difficult to articulate, but you need to come to that very bold, clear vocalization of that, and then move yourself forward. And so, insulting them, if you get into a lot of negative, giving them a lot of negative attention, you're still giving them attention. And so the psychopath and the malignant narcissist, at a certain stage in the relationship, if you're yelling, fighting, throwing things, they're still, feeling like, I still have this one. I still have this person under my hook, lock, and key, and I can continue to break them down, because they take a pleasure, they take a sick pleasure from seeing you lose it, from seeing you yelling, screaming, whatever it is, or, doing this and this with the kids, or this and this with your job, this and this with your money. They see exactly how they have you manipulated. So the number one insult that you can give them is to no longer be controlled by their manipulation, that it no longer works on you, it's no longer effective, that they're basically powerless over you. And to let them know that is the biggest insult, and to let them know that you understand that there's a certain disease or pathology there, and that you are no longer affected by it. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.